Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we simmed a bit more of the season, and we also made a trade, and this team is starting to fall apart, which is good. So we are tanking for that number 1 overall pick, but we did send Tyler Bertuzzi to the New York Islanders for a top 6 forward prospect. I can't remember his name. I think it was Jenner, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just go by overall down here. I'm pretty sure it was like a Jenner dude. Let me just check. I think he was a right winger, maybe? Yeah, there he is. So we traded for this guy, Harvey Jenner. He should be a pretty good player if he grows properly, but yeah, I'm really excited for that. And yeah, that's pretty much all we did in last episode. In today's episode, we're going to be doing some big trades because we are going to be flipping out as much players as possible without having to hit the minimum cap hit. So we're probably going to be trading some big guys in this episode. I do have one comment I'd like to go over, and that is from HawksFan88 again. He says, I think you should definitely look into trading some of your older guys like Kubalik, Mantha, Wilson, and Manson, and then also the goalies. Get some picks and prospects for them and increase your chances of getting a high pick. So I totally agree with moving those guys out. The only problem I think is that we might run into the minimum cap hit soon. So we might actually have to start taking cap back because we're at 80.961. Looks like we could go down by another like $5 million or so. So we might be able to flip one of those bigger guys. So that's maybe what we're going to do in this episode. Also, since today's episode is technically airing on Christmas, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas if you celebrate that, or Happy Holidays in general. Hopefully you're staying safe over this break. And yeah, let's get into the trade deadline because it's literally a day left in our calendar to this deadline. Actually, I should edit our trading block maybe a bit because I don't think I edited it all last episode. So we want to also adjust what we want coming in. So surplus is 28 to 50, but let's adjust it to forwards, defensemen, and goalies as well. So yeah, that's fine like that. Actually, let's adjust it from third line because any forward that's 28 and above, we are moving out, or we're gonna try to at least. And then defensively, anybody that's 28 and older, yeah, that's good. And then goalie wise, any goalie that's 28 and older. But yeah, hopefully this team can start turning the page a bit because we did start like last season we had a really good year, but this year we've just I don't know what the heck the problem was with this team, but they decided that they wanted to tank this year, so we're gonna pretty much just flip out anybody at this rate, and we're gonna pick up as much good prospects as we can to go with our current ones, and hopefully we're a good team within the next few seasons because it's been a while since this team has actually been a good team. Okay, so let's adjust this trading block. So we got to add a few more players to this block, so we'll add Kubalik. I don't think I'm going to add Mantha just yet, or maybe I should. He's only for 2 more years. Maybe next season we could flip him, but right now I don't think I'm going to. But he does have some good value. We're going to definitely throw on Kubalik, though. He doesn't actually have a lot of value, which is kind of annoying because of his contract, probably. And then we're also going to throw in Manson as well. Hopefully we get some decent offers from the computer, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a trade on my own, because I actually did not pre-scout any trades. Manson probably has no trade value though. Yeah, he has no trade value. We might be able to get a 7th rounder for him, but 3 years at 4.13, and he's been struggling. Let's adjust what our wants are. So we do not want anybody that is above 27, and any defenseman that's 17 to 27, and then any forward that is 17 to 27, and any goalie that is 17 to 27. That's usually what I always set my block to, just because I like to get the younger guys in, and I don't usually keep around too many veterans, because I'm more of a fan of EA generated players than I am real players in this game for some reason. So I'll take 1st round picks, I'll take 2nds and 3rds, but I will not take 4th plus. And same goes with this. There you go. Just in case the team wants to give me some 1st round picks. And actually, wait, we have to adjust this future pick thing as well here that we want to give up. So I'm willing to give up 4th plus, but not anything in the first 3 rounds at this stage. Just because this season has been one of the worst seasons I've ever had in a franchise mode. So there we go. There's our trading block adjusted. So we'll advance today, and we'll probably put ourselves as a seller for this trade deadline. So let's go back to the calendar screen and advance to this deadline. We do actually have a game on the deadline, which is kind of interesting. Okay, so Islanders have fired their coach. Interesting. And let's go a full-out seller and enter this trade deadline. Let's see what kind of offers the computer throws at us. Hopefully they throw some big blockbuster ones at us. Okay, so Mitch Marner's on the block, Rantanen, Hannafin, Riley. Wow, some big names out there. If I was actually a good team, these would be some pretty good players to bring in, but most of them have long cap hits. But yeah, let's take a look at what we could do. So find trade. Let's see if we could find a trade for some of those guys we are planning on shipping out. So I doubt I'm going to be able to flip out Manson, to be honest, because his value is so low. But let's just see if we can find somebody that wants Manson. So there's already been a trade. Kadri, Greenway, and a 4th head to Chicago for a 1st rounder, Plant, and a 6th. Okay. Let's see if Manson. Nobody wants Manson. That's problematic. I might have to just ship him away for a 7th rounder if there's anybody that actually just wants him. But let's see if we could trade away. I mean, Kubalik's only 29. I don't necessarily need to deal Kubalik away, but he might be one of those guys I want to move out because he's got a 4-year deal, or 3 years at 6, technically starting next season. We're getting offered a 3rd and a 7th, a 3rd and a 6th, a 3rd and a 4th, 2 4ths, a 3rd and a 6th, and a 3rd and a 7th. I would probably accept the one from the Sens. The 3rd and a 4th. That's probably the one that we're going to be doing. I think that's for next season, though, if I'm not mistaken, because I think we're only in 2024, 25. So that's for next year. But I think I would be willing to do that, probably. I just need to make sure ahead of time that we're making the right moves. Who was the other guys that I was planning to move out? Let's see what we could get for Mantha, even though I don't think I want to move out Mantha yet. Just because he's only got 2 years, he could just go to free agency, probably. But let's see what we could get for him. 2nd and a 3rd for next year. Mikheyev, a 4th and a 6th. Mikheyev's got too much term. He's getting paid 5.63. And 2 second-round picks from the Sens. Wow. And we just got offered a deal for Zadina, which is not on the block, so no thank you, Montreal. Nice try. Bergevin's trying to scam me. But yeah, I think I might try and move out Mantha. For 2 second-rounders, I think that's a good price. Because his value is probably going to be going down, but I could be wrong with that. How much points has he had this season? 43 points. He's been kind of dropping in production since like year number 1, because he had 76 points, 72, 71, 71, and now he's on pace for probably like 63-ish, maybe even less than that. So we could move out Mantha, or do we move out Kubalik? I think I might want to keep Kubalik because he's a bit younger, but he does have a worse contract. We could still flip him away probably next season. But yeah, I think Mantha's the one that I would like to move out, because Tom Wilson's got 1 year left. We could also flip him. Let's just see what he would get us to a 3rd and a 4th, a 3rd and a 6th, or a 3rd and a 6th. So, I mean, Wilson would hit free agency, Mantha wouldn't. So, like, these type of guys, we could, like, Mantha and Kubalik, we could technically flip afterwards, but Wilson, we could flip right now, because we won't be bringing him back for sure. What about the goaltending combination? Because the goaltending has been horrific, and we could already play House technically in the NHL, and maybe even Eliasson if we traded both of them away. But I mean, I think House is having a fantastic season in the AHL, right? Yeah, the AHL team's doing really good because of House is the thing. But I mean, they'd be probably good with Mui as well and Nguyen. Let's see what we could get for Skinner. Anything? 4th and a 7th. I'm surprised people actually want him because he's not a good backup. 4th and a 6th. He's only making 1.7, so we should be able to flip another player away after this. So I think I'll flip him to... Who's doing the worst? I don't know out of these teams. Washington, maybe? Let's take a look at Washington. How's their record this season? They're doing really well. We want to find the worst team possible for him to go to, potentially. At least that's usually what I try and do. Knowing my luck, I'm going to find one, and then the computer is going to make a trade or something, or offer me a trade, and then it's going to, like, quit me out of the screen. Nashville, maybe he's not doing too well. No, they're doing well as well. Yeah, I don't think regardless these picks are going to be that good, but we could use these to move up, so... Yeah, we're going to trade Skinner to Nashville, I think, for a 4th and a 6th. Yeah, let's do that, might as well. So bye-bye Skinner, and House is going to come up to the NHL unless we decide to trade for a backup, which I don't think I'm going to do. So there's our first deal of the deadline. Do we want to move Mantha right now, or do we want to move Kubalik right now? How good has Kubalik been? I haven't actually checked his stats, I don't think. So Kubalik's got 37 points, and he's a +8, so he's actually been not too bad. Like, he's been good plus-minus wise, but I think didn't he get injured this year at one point? I can't even remember. I feel like Mantha couldn't be moved out right now. Anybody else making some trades right now? Out of curiosity, some big names still out there. Let's take a look at what's out there on the trading block for all these teams. Let's go available to see if there's any good prospects that we could trade for instead of just picks. Because picks are nice, but there could be some good prospects too that could help us out down the road, potentially. But it seems like right now it's mostly veterans, so I don't think we're going to be able to find anybody. Columbus has a lot of players on the block. There's another trade. Edmonton has just made a deal. They have traded Mike Hoffman and a 3rd to Anaheim for Danny DeKeyser, a 3rd, and a 4th. Interesting. Yeah, this episode might be a bit long just because of this deadline, because I'm trying to make as smart of moves as possible, because this is a pre-recorded episode, so it's a couple of days before you guys are actually going to see this. Usually I record on the day of. Anybody that we want to bring in does not look like it. Anaheim's made a trade. Anaheim acquires a 2nd to Antoine Morand, or trades second to Antoine Morand and Ethier to Buffalo for Vinny Vevalainen, Lauzon, and a 5th and a 6th. A lot of weird trades. Who's this Hervinen guy? Is it Tommy Hervinen? No, it's Tuukka Hervinen. That guy looks like a decent prospect, but I don't really know if we want to bring that guy in. We don't have like a lot of right wingers, so this guy might be intriguing. I'll take a look at him afterwards with Philadelphia. San Jose's made a trade, trading Ryan Murray and Thomas Grace to Chicago for Perrin and a 3rd. Okay. But yeah, I think I'm going to go back to that guy in I was going to say Philadelphia, but Philadelphia. Because we do need some right wing prospects. Maybe that would make sense for trade for Mantha to go to the Flyers. So let's go to Philadelphia quickly and see what they want for this Hervinen guy, if they still have him on the block. Which they do. He's 75 at 20. When was he drafted? Late 1st round, but he's got some decent stats. And he's been playing down there in Lehigh Valley for the last 3 years. Not too bad of a player. So let's see, can we give them Mantha? Yeah, they do want Mantha. Let me just go trade finder for Hervinen and see if they have something that we actually want to give up. Because I'm not sure if I still want to move out Mantha yet, because I could always do that next season. So Hervinen, find trade, no trades found. Are you serious? I'm surprised they didn't actually want to say, oh, we'll trade him straight up for Mantha. Let's go back to Hervinen. We don't have to make a trade for him, but wow. Philadelphia's getting rid of any prospect, medium elite guy from the 2nd round they're willing to give up, but I don't think we have that value. He has been signed to his ELC, this dude. Yeah, I doubt we're going to be able to get him, to be honest. I honestly don't even know what trades we're going to still make in this episode. Like, I would like to make as much trades as possible. Philadelphia would be over the cap hit if we did that, so we'd have to probably retain salary, so that wouldn't make really much sense. Let's just go trade finder, and maybe we'll trade Mantha, maybe we'll trade Kubalik. Who else was it that I could move out? At Wilson, I already looked at his offers. Warren Fogel's, I think, on a 1-year deal as well, right? Yeah, he is, but he doesn't have much value. Center-wise, Jonathan Toews is on a 1-year deal, but I doubt any team's actually going to want Toews. Yeah, nobody wants Toews. How about goalie-wise? Do we want to move out another goalie? Probably not. Yeah, I'll probably just keep Tristan Jarry around for the 1 year. But let's see, defenders, Ethan Bear, 1 year as well for Ethan Bear. But he's only 27, so it's not that bad. Manson, we're not going to be able to move out, but I'm probably going to have to buy him out or something in the off season if he doesn't retire. Yeah, I think we're going to just move out Mantha. Yeah, I think I'm going to move out Mantha because Kubalik has multiple years. We did just get offered another trade for Zadina. I don't know why they're offering us trades for Zadina. Zadina's not on the block. But yeah, I think I'm going to just move out Mantha because he's got 2 years. And then Kubalik I'm fine with keeping around for a little bit longer. But we could trade him away as well in the off season. So, yeah, Mantha, let's go trade finder. Let's see. Oh, there's no. Wow, the Mantha offers are gone, most of them. I'm not taking any of those salary hits, though. Damn, that really blows it. Both of those are gone. Columbus, would you get rid of Mikheyev off that and then maybe take. We could take a higher pick? Oh, that'd be over to cap hit. They must have traded for somebody or something. That is not good. I guess we'll have to find a trade on our own instead of doing the trade finder. Yeah, this episode's going to be definitely really long because it's already been like 17 minutes since I started recording. And then we still have to sim the rest of the season and get to where our draft position is. So, Anaheim, do you have just a draft pick, some draft picks you could give for us? Like a third and a fourth? No, they'd be over the 45 skaters. We need to find somebody that could hit them cap-wise. And a third and a fourth. Over 45 skaters. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Calgary. They don't want to give up any of those picks, so they probably won't make those deals. Chicago. 2 4th-rounders. I don't really want 2 4th-rounders, to be honest. Colorado would be over. Columbus says they won't be over. Let me just try this again, even though we just did get an offer from Columbus. They'd be over the maximum salary cap, it says still. Maybe I could retain a tiny bit. I don't know. We'll come back to that maybe if we don't find anything else. Also, sorry if this episode is just long and draggy, me trying to find a trade, but that's what happens sometimes. They don't want to give up their thirds. Minnesota probably doesn't want to either. Nope. Montreal would be over salary. Nashville over salary. Ottawa Senators, what do you guys have? Okay, you have. Can we get a second rounder for Mantha? They'd be over 45 skaters, so we'd also have to take in a prospect in the system. This Lorakainen guy is already a 72. For a low top 4, that's pretty solid. He was a second rounder. He doesn't have much value, so we could throw him into this deal, but that would put them over the salary cap. Let's retain some salary a bit on this. I'm willing to retain some salary. Like, I don't think it's that much of a problem to retain like a $1 million for the next 2 seasons. That still isn't going to work. About 1.5. That works. Okay, so yeah, that's not bad, retaining 1.5 for like the rest of the season, and then also just for next season. And then we get a second and Lorakainen. We might actually be able to throw in something else into this deal, draft pick wise. Let's see if we could get a third into this deal too. Yeah, I think we could actually maybe do that. I don't know if Ottawa's going to accept, but let's see. So a second, a third, and Lorakainen for Anthony Mantha, and that is accepted. Okay. So bye-bye, Anthony Mantha. Thank you for your time here, but that was a really nice trade, I think. Got a lot more than I was expecting to get for him. And I think that might be all we make for trades, unless we could still trade away Tom Wilson, but I think we're almost at the minimum cap hit now. Oh, no, we're not yet. We're getting close down there, so we could still trade away Tom Wilson. I think I'll stick with Kubalik for now. So Tom Wilson. Wow, I get offered another trade for Zadina. When will the computer learn that I do not want to deal with Zadina? Let's just do a fine trade again for Tom Wilson because Tom Wilson is not very good. 2 4th rounders, 2 4th rounders, or 2 4th rounders. I would assume Florida's not doing the greatest, but who knows? How's Florida doing? They're around 500, so yeah, we'll do this trade. Tom Wilson to Florida for 2 4th round picks. I'll accept that as well. Okay, so we've made 3 trades in this episode, and I think that's all we're going to do. Definitely freed up a lot of cap space for the offseason because we do have some big signings to do. And yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. So we are going to exit the trade deadline. And yeah, that's all we're going to do for this episode for trades. But now it comes to the problem where we're going to have to adjust our lineup. 410 on waivers, 28 years of age. I don't think we really need this guy. How much did he sign for 1 year? I don't really think we need this guy, to be honest, so I'll decline that. But yeah, one sec, guys. I'm going to quickly adjust the lineup, and then we will start simming the rest of the season as we continue to tank. Okay, guys, so here's our lineup, and now Zadina dropped off. I don't know if it's because of all the trades we just made. Yeah, because we traded away Mantha. And then he randomly got stripped of his alternate captaincy, which makes no sense. But yeah, well, anyways, we got Raymond, Lurk, and Zadina, so this team is dropping off a cliff just because of those deals. Kubalik, Veleno, and Suzuki. And then Fogel, Taze, and Garant. And then Timashev, Patan, and Smith. Defensively, we got Wall and Sider, Bear and Wallinder, and Vero and Wild. So our defense didn't change at all. It was just mostly our forwards. And goalie-wise, we got Jerry and Rohan House is already going to just play some backup. Even though he's been killing it down there in AHL, I would like to give him the opportunity. That's why I didn't trade for another goalie. And then depth-wise, we got Manson and Albin Grew, who's going to come up. And then in the AHL, it looks pretty much like this. We got a lot of defensemen playing forwards down there, which is kind of concerning, but hopefully those guys still develop. Maybe we'll just sign a bunch of random free agent guys for the AHL in the offseason. So anyways, let's get into the rest of the season simulation. This episode's probably running pretty long. I would assume we're at like 20-something minutes now. But yeah, let's get the rest of this regular season done. We'll also do the awards, and we'll also find out where we're drafting in this episode, just because I'd like to have an idea of where I'm drafting for next episode as well. Because I'm kind of curious on what we're going to get at the draft. Hopefully we do tank enough to get that first overall pick. Because I don't think I've had a first overall pick in a franchise mode since my Send series back in NHL.19, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this team's losing games and winning some random ones against Tampa Bay of all teams. How are we winning with some random games? Okay, and last game, there you go. So 26, 49, and 7. A really bad season, almost 50 regulation losses. We finished with 59 points, which is the second worst team in the league. The Kings finished worst with 53 points. Let's take a look at our stats to wrap up the year. We'll briefly just go over this because it's not too impressive like previous seasons. So we finished with 59 points, 206 goals for per game, or not per game, but for the season, 2.51 per game, which is second worst in the league. We scored more than the LA Kings, who had only 2.2, so they did really bad. Goals against per game wise, we were the second worst defensive team with 3.62 against. Our power play was 10.4%, which was the worst in the league. And our penalty kill was the worst in the league. So, yeah, we were a really bad team. And it's easy to say that. Let's take a look at our player stats for the season. Center-wise, Larkin had 64 points. Veleno had 53. So, actually a pretty good season for Veleno. Suzuki, 21. Taze, 20 points. He's probably going to be retiring. And Albin Grew had no points in 3 games and was a -4. Left wing was Zadina, 52 points, Kubalik 47, Fogel 28, Garant 26 and 57, so he was pretty good when he came in. I think he's going to be a full-time NHLer by next season. Like, if he would have played the full year, he could have probably put up like close to 40 points this season in his rookie year, which would be pretty good. And Timashev, 8 points this season in 82 games. Wow. Talk about a drop-off in production. From 31 points to 8 points, and I think he had around the same amount of ice time. No, a little bit less, actually. Never mind. Right wing-wise, Raymond had 57 points. That's actually a pretty good season for Raymond. Because previously he was only putting up like 30 points a year. But yeah, that's pretty good for him. Nick Petan 6 points and Giovanni Smith 4 points. Defensively, Wall had 30 points. Nice. 30 points, that's his best so far. 81 on his career. Moritz Seider 22 points, Bear 21, Wallinder 14 points in his first season, Manson 10 points in 53 games, Wild 9 points, and Vero 8 points. But yeah, that plus minus on this team is horrific. Ethan Bear at least was a plus, but damn. And goaltending wise, Tristan Jarry had not a great season at all. Howes was 1-1-1 in 5 games with a 9.15 and a 2.81, so he was not actually too bad. He was actually better than Jerry was. So hopefully he's our starting goaltender by next season. Maybe he'll be a backup, who knows. Let's take a quick look at the entire league. Just gloss over this quickly. So Scheifele led in points with 114 points. Jeez. Most goals was also Scheifele with 49 goals. It's kind of funny how him and Laine are both up there, but they're not teammates anymore. Defensively, the most points was Chabot with 74. Best goaltender this year for wins was Vasilevsky, hitting 50 wins on the season. Jeez. Most shutouts this season was Carter Hart. Best save percentage by a starter was Carter Hart. Best goals against average by a starter was Carter Hart. So Carter Hart looks like he's going to win the Vezina. And then rookie skater wise, the most points by a rookie was Dylan Guenther with 86 points in his first season. Jeez. That's a really good rookie season. Trevor Wong behind him. And best rookie goaltender for fun was Zharkov. Okay. So let's sim to the draft and the awards. Wrap up the season already. And see where we're drafting. Hopefully we get the number 1 overall pick after all this tanking. Because if we fall back or if we stay at number 2, it's fine. But I would like to stay at in the top 3 for sure. I don't want to fall back out of it. It would be nice to get the first overall pick for a change. And that would definitely help us out in terms of making the playoffs and stuff down the road. Looks like our AHL team might have made the playoffs, which is good. Even without Howes down that stretch. But it looks like they got eliminated, unfortunately. And we are really near the Stanley Cup champion, which is going to be either Arizona or Washington. And it's going to be the Arizona Coyotes, and they also win the AHL with Tucson. So Arizona winning the Stanley Cup in this season. Let's take a look at those individual awards, and then we'll find out where we're drafting. So Arizona wins the Stanley Cup, Philadelphia the Presidents, and it was Arizona-Washington Cup Finals. Individual awards, Scheifele wins the Art Ross and the Hart. Victor Hedman wins the James Norris. Braden Point wins the Lady Byng. Dylan Guenther with the Calder. Connor Hellebuyck also went to Arizona. I wonder if there was a trade between Winnipeg and Arizona with Scheifele and Hellebuyck involved. But Hellebuyck wins the Conn Smythe. Carter Hart wins the Vezina and the William M. Jennings. Brendan Dillon wins the Masterton. Arsene wins the Adams. Barkov with the Selke. Scheifele with the Lindsay and the Richard. So Scheifele cleaning up on awards. AHL-wise, anybody for us, out of curiosity? Nope. Okay. So now we find out where we're drafting, I think, or is it retirements first? I think it's where we're drafting, so please be first overall. Please be first overall. And it's not going to be first overall, and we slide from 2 to 5. Well, that's the typical Detroit slide, but damn, that really blows. I mean, we could always package our 5th and somebody like Kupalik to move up, I think, but I doubt Minnesota, Anaheim. Well, Anaheim actually jumped from 10 to 2. They might want to move their pick. So we could always move back to our normal pick, potentially. But, yeah, that is not good. Not the odds we wanted to see. So let's take a look at those retired players quickly, and then we will take a look at the draft class again and our progress reports. So we did not lose anybody to retirement, but I'm definitely going to be letting go of Taze because Taze is getting too old. Malkin is now a coach, which is kind of interesting. And coach retirement, we did not lose anybody, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't lose anybody. And yeah, let's do some draft interviews, even though this episode's going long. So Gunnarsson's only a medium elite. So if we're going number 5, we're probably getting somebody like, we could get like a 2-way defender, We could get this power forward, Chris Bobbylev. I'm going to interview him because I have not done that yet. So let's go personality and check his, actually not his personality. I don't really care about his personality. I want to go to his playstyle and his NHL readiness and maybe his top skill. So his readiness, he should probably be an elite player. I feel like I'm right on the cusp of competing in the NHL, but maybe a year of development. So maybe he's 1 year away, so he might not even be elite, this guy. Playstyle, I think I already confirmed he was a power forward. Yep, he's a power forward. And we'll also find his greatest strength, which is probably going to be shooting or hitting or something like that, my guess. And it's going to be his shot. Yeah, he has a really good shot. But if this guy's 1 year away, he's probably not going to be a top 5 player. At least that's my guess. But still, that might be a decent pick. Yeah, this guy's probably like a top 6. Which means we'd probably still have to go with either Biggs, Kearns, Richard, who we know nothing about. Is it worth moving up to get Richard? Potentially it is. There's also Stillman, who looks really good. And Gunnarsson. I think I would really want Stillman if I was able to move up to number 2. So we might try and swing a trade with Anaheim next episode if you guys think it's realistic. But let's interview this guy just to find out a bit more about him, because we don't know anything so far. His greatest strength is his skating. What a surprise. That's like a lot of players nowadays. And play style. What is his play style? Because I don't think I confirmed that yet. His play style is a playmaker. Okay. And his readiness is probably going to be instantly. Yep. Okay, so he's an elite playmaker. And he's a centerman, I think it said. We do need some center prospects, so this guy actually might be the perfect fit too. And this guy looks like his scout rank could be number 1, so he could end up being the best. So he might go number 1 before somebody like Gunnarsson or Stillman. But maybe we move up to 3, because then it gives us one of these 3 guys, which would be good probably no matter what. Just let me know about that, guys, down below in the comments. And let's see, do we have anybody else we want to interview that's supposed to go late? Like in the second round, there's a goalie. We don't really need goalie prospects. This guy's supposed to go early second rounder. We would have to move up 1 pick probably. Get this guy. Wow, this guy might be NHL ready. Let's interview him, but I think we'll have to move up 1 spot to probably get this guy if we want to get him in the second round. Or we take him with a late first round pick if we have a late one, or what, but I don't think we do. So his greatest strength, what is his greatest strength? His defensive skill set, so he's a DFD. But that's good, because we don't really have a lot of DFDs. And then his play style, it's probably DFD, right? Yeah, stay-at-home defenseman. And his NHL readiness is right now. So he's an NHL-ready defenseman, supposed to go in the second round. So I think we want to move up from number 33 to number 32 if we can, because this guy looks pretty good. He's supposed to go around 34th, but I feel like the computer will find out and take him before us. So we'll pin this dude just because I think he's reasonable to get. Oh, is this guy actually a franchise player? Probably not. Nah, he's definitely not. But still, that would be pretty insane to get a franchise player in the 100th area. Okay, so let's take one last look at our progress reports just to make sure we have some good growth in our system. So yeah, a lot of guys dropping off in the NHL. Most of these guys probably won't be coming back. Well, a lot of the young guys will. But yeah, Taze definitely won't be. But I'm really liking Veleno at least. So Guérin's up to an 83, but it could be statistical growth. Yeah, it's statistical growth. But I think he still will probably grow really good next season. He had a pretty good rookie year. Was over point per game in the AHL before he came up. Kubalik might get dealt next year. Timoshev is probably not coming back. Fogle, etc. How about in the system, though? That's more what I wanted to check. So let's go by centers first. So Laddie's up to a 75. Don't know if he's going to pan out. which is really sad because I was hoping he would. Saric, not really much of a prospect. Soderblom, Lacroix, Sadikov might still make it because he is younger and better overall wise. How about left wing prospects? We don't really have much, so never mind. Right wing wise, Kaminsky, Jenner, who we got from the Islanders, is growing still. He did just have a really good season in the AHL, or not the AHL, the OHL, with 107 points. Defensively, Lacerte's almost inserting himself into the NHL. He had a really good AHL season, 35 points. Okay, looking at forward to that, that's a good prospect down there. Tuubarainen also is almost NHL ready. So we do have some good defensive prospects getting ready. Lorakainen, who we just traded for, not really doing much of anything. He had only 4 points down there in the AHL, but he was playing forward. Goalie-wise, Nguyen's growing a lot, which is good. Hopefully he still reaches that elite potential. I doubt he will, but still. And Lawrence is growing. Yui and Eliasson are staying right where they are. Okay, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So next episode, we will take it to the draft, where we might move up in the draft if you guys think it's logical. We also might make some other trades and reshape this team completely for next season. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.